Since most parents do not teach their children or teenagers about money, you might want to pause the video, go get your teenagers, bring them back to the video, let them see the video also too, because I'm teaching about money and I'm also teaching about debt. So you might want to pause the video, go get them, bring them back, start the video back up. Now today, which is the subject of should you date somebody that's in a lot of debt, I'm focusing on today student loan debt. Let me tell you a little bit of story, and we're going to talk about not only student loan debt, but how this debt can end up affecting you. There was a lady that I was interested in, so I went up and talked to her a little bit. I just wanted to kind of get to know her a little bit. I said, hello, my name is such and such. The woman had told me that she went to the University of Michigan. So I'm like, oh, wow, you went to the University of Michigan. Did you go to the University of Michigan Dearborn, or did you go to the University of Michigan Ann Arbor? So she told me the University of Michigan Ann Arbor. And I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden, when she told me she went to the University of Michigan Ann Arbor, my engineering hat came on. And when she said that, I'm like, this woman is in at least $100,000 worth of debt. I don't know why my mind was thinking that way, but I'm a former automotive engineer, specifically an industrial engineer, and I worked very closely with advanced manufacturing. It was part of my responsibility to make sure that the department that I was responsible for ran as efficiently as possible. And so, being an industrial engineer, when she said that, I just knew that she was at least $100,000 worth of debt. And then I thought about it later on. I was like, University of Michigan Ann Arbor. I'm like, no, she's not in $100,000 worth of debt. She's in $150,000 worth of debt. And so when she told me that, I was like, she didn't tell me how much debt student loan debt she was in. When she said University of Michigan Ann Arbor, I was like, you must be in about $100,000 worth of debt. And then she looked at me, she was like, she really didn't answer the question. And the look on her face was, dude. And I'm looking at the way she answered the question, and I was like, oh no. She answered the question like she's in more than $100,000 worth of debt. And I estimate she probably was in about $150,000 worth of debt. So when you look at the situation, I was thinking to myself, if you were to get with this particular woman here, she's in $150,000 worth of debt that I'm estimating. She's going to be expecting you to pay that $150,000 off, even though she ran up that $150,000 worth of debt, student loan debt. So I'm like, wow. Yeah, do you see how this affects you, whether you're male or female? So anyway, I'm gonna get back to how it's gonna affect you, how it does affect you a little bit later. But let me tell you this: the same lady that told me that she had graduated at the University of Michigan Ann Arbor, and I had estimated that she was in about $150,000 worth of debt, she had told me that she had realized that that field that she had graduated out of, that was not something that she wanted to do. Okay, so you're gonna realize after you're in $150,000 worth of debt that that's not what you want to do, and she wanted to go back to school. Well, actually, she didn't want to go back to school. She did go back to school to go get her master's. So I said, well, where did you go back to school to get your master's? She's like, well, I went to another university, Wayne State University, to get her master's. So when she told me that, I'm thinking to myself, that's another $50,000 in debt. I said, that's another $50,000 in debt approximately that I'm estimating, in addition to $150,000 worth of debt that she had picked up at the University of Michigan. I said, this woman is about $200,000 worth of debt. $200,000 in student loan debt. And so she told me after she got her master's, she realized that that field was something that she didn't want to go into, and she was thinking about going to law school. I'm like, what? And I'm thinking to myself, after you got your degree, even if it was in a field that you didn't particularly like, why didn't you go out, get you a job, and start paying this loan back? But I guess that makes too much sense, right? She decided to stay in to get another degree. which put her in further debt from $150,000 worth of debt to a $200,000 worth of debt. And then now she's telling me, oh, I'm thinking about going to law school. Okay, so you plan on going to law school now? Yeah. Well, law school is going to be another $50,000 or another $100,000 tacked on to the $200,000 that she's already in. So she's easily, if she does go back to law school, she's going to easily be up to $300,000. Easily. So I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Well, hey, it's nice talking to you. Nice talking to you. Who do you think is going to be paying for all this debt? She's going to be expecting that man or whoever to be paying her $200,000 off in student loan debt, or if it jumps up to $300,000 in student loan debt because she decided to go to law school now instead of working and paying all this debt off, she's going to be expecting some man to pay that $200,000 or $300,000 off. So this is how this affects you. She's going to be expecting you to pay the money. So you may have came into the relationship with maybe only $10,000 worth of debt. Let's say $20,000 worth of debt. Now, because you get with this particular individual, you got your $20,000 worth of debt, and now they're bringing $200,000 or $300,000 worth of student loan debt. And oh, by the way, you can't go into bankruptcy over a student loan debt. All student loans have to be paid back. All student loans have to be paid back. So if you're a person that's only in $20,000 worth of debt or $10,000 worth of debt, now you with this person who is now bringing another $200,000 or $300,000 worth of debt. So is it in the best of the person's interest to date a person who is in this much student loan debt? No, it doesn't benefit them at all. That person with that other debt is going to be dragging them down, especially if they're trying to pressure that person to help them to pay that debt off. The point that I'm making is maybe you should not be dating somebody if you find out they're in a great deal of debt, because their debt is going to weigh you down for them being with them, because they're going to be expecting you to pay the debt. So anyway, that's what I want to say about student loan debt, and we're going to go on to the next subject soon. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Please like, please share, please subscribe the video. It's extremely, extremely important. You have yourself a good day, and I'll see you back on the next one.